the thing because I'm not ready. Here we're live. Hey, we're live. Hey, everybody. Hi, everybody. This is
What
it.
up?
Episode 100 fucking 80. Wow.
Halfway to.
I cut you off.
No, you're good. I said we're halfway to 360, man. We're
Oh shit.
half a revolution.
We just about did it. Did it.
We're gonna do the whole stream facing away from you at 180.
No.
See the back of our heads for a whole stream.
Wow. Well, you know, that's just another Brian watch. There you go. It's not going to happen again. I'm sorry. Those were pandemic driven.
Yeah, man.
I've been drinking since noon. It is now 1 in the morning. I'm asleep now.
I was unfortunately, what were they calling it? Essential. So I had to go into work. So my drinking couldn't start until about 7. But
word.
Whew. Oh, and thankfully we weren't live streaming on Saturdays. Otherwise I would have had a problem as well.
Man, back in the day, I was thinking about this too. I was streaming like 5 days a week on either, if not on my own, on other people's streams and stuff. Yep. It was just like,
it was my new job. Tuesday was KotoKai Robo Dojo.
Yep, that's for the Robo Dojo.
Wednesday was Wet Palette. We can jump on Julio. Thursday was here.
On Thursday.
Friday was Mechanism.
Saturday was Critical Wall builds.
Critical Wall, yep.
Monday was Monday Rumble with Jays.
That's right.
Monday Rumble. She used to roll that too. We had there was a whole TV guide of sorts for streams back then. To give a little year in review, lifetime in review throwback.
I mean, like, that was for a lot of people. That was like all the human interaction you were gonna get, right? Like, was
word.
At least we could talk here.
Ain't no joke. And man, did I become a chubby bubby in that amount of time. I drank so much beer and ate so much ramen then. Like, I'm starting to get back to normal. I'm back to about 200 pounds. Like,
the frozen pizza I ate, man. Like, I think I was like a connoisseur of frozen pizza.
So, about frozen pizza, right? I, growing up in the Midwest, had a selection of foods that were available to me at all grocery stores, right? They're all basically the same out there. It's weird. You live in the heartland. It's supposed to be farms and shit. All they do is grow corn for cows and high fructose corn syrup. They don't really they don't grow food for people to eat.
Not what you think, yeah.
Yeah, not really.
Not crops of tomatoes.
Yeah, I know. That's in New Jersey, believe it or not. So you would get like your varietal shit, and there's always there. So you got your Tombstones, you got your Jacks, you got your, whatever big chain stuff. And you could get these like pizzas on the regular, and I got used to them. But when I moved out here, they don't have that shit anymore. It ain't out here.
They don't have a lot of frozen. Well,
they do, but they don't have the same shit. So like you'll be able to get like Red Baron or something like that out here.
Tombstone's
you can't get Tombstone cheese. I want cheese and what do you want on your Tombstone? Sausage and pepperoni. Or that kind of shit. Those old cheesy cartoons or not cartoons, but commercials from the 90s. Those people that are like, I wasn't even born until 2000, you old bastard. But yeah, I'm an old bastard. So
did you when during the pandemic, what's that guy's name? He does the pizza reviews. He owns the sports shit. I can't think of his name.
Portnoy. There are a few.
Dave Portnoy.
First Feast?
No, he owns Barstool Sports, and he does that like the one bite, everyone knows the rules thing. But during COVID, obviously, like couldn't go to a lot of places to review pizza, so he started doing frozen pizza, and like the first one was like a gimmick, like he got like a tombstone, he was like, oh, I'm gonna review this, and then people started sending him fucking frozen pizza to review. And a lot of pizza places that were like, I would say, a little more established, like it wasn't like your corner store pizza, but it was like maybe they had 2 or 3 stores. They were dry freezing their own pizza and sending it out. So this guy, he has like an apartment in New York City, and then people started just sending him everything. So he would do like unboxing videos where his, like, the room I'm in is entirely filled with boxes, and he's just opening shit. And he's high and drunk, and like,
of course he's in New York in the pandemic. Of course he's high and drunk.
But it was pretty funny. Like I remember he has a rant about, I think it was Jack's Pizza, and because they like wouldn't send him a pizza, and then he gets it, and it's like he cooks it, and it's like floppy, and he's like, "You floppy piece of shit," and he starts like screaming into the camera.
I would kill the Tombstone, because you can't get Tombstone out here. I would kill the Tombstone Supremes. Like I would eat one of them shits in its entirety.
Hell yeah.
15 minutes. I would just consume it all. And that was like part of my diet as like a hyperactive teen, teen, post-teen.
I used to love the French bread pizzas. They're like skinny long, and you just pop them in the toaster oven, and they take 5 minutes.
Yeah, no time at all, right? In the Midwest, so out in Iowa, you'll get weird. So, and this is something that fucked with my wife, with Colleen, and so we went out there and we got pizza for dinner one night, and she's like, "Oh, where are we going to get the pizza?" And I was like, "Oh, we're going to the gas station."
Oh God,
because the Casey's General Store, it's like a gas station, but it has like a pizza shop in it. It has like these things all become like one-stop shops out there. So. Yeah, you can get your beers, you can get your semi-groceries, you can get, fill up on gas, eggs and milk and cheese and shit. Or you can buy a pizza, depending on where it is. Like sometimes you can get chicken, like fried chicken, like extra fried chicken. I guess. I've never been to a Buc-ee's.
Oh my God. It's like 100 gas pumps there. It's like the size of fucking Walmart. Like it's honestly, the first time I stopped, I was like a little overwhelmed. Like I didn't know what to like do. Like I was like, well, I don't know, like we're driving, I forget, I think we were going to Tennessee or North Carolina, one of the two. So I'm gonna get like snacks and drinks to drive with, and I'm like, I end up walking out with like the most basic of shit because it was just too much that I was like, I don't know what to get here. Like
Paul walks out with a bag of jerky and a travel mug, pretty much, like a souvenir t-shirt.
I have a blanket, like a throw blanket with the stupid beaver on it.
That's
because that was like, my wife was like, I want a blanket. I was like, okay.
Word.
But they have like brisket sandwiches. I'm like, but pizza? I don't know. Yeah, I walked out with something stupid. I think I walked out with peach rings and a Monster.
Word. And like a Christmas ornament and like a pair of sandals and like flip-flops. Not flip-flop sandals, and then like swim fins. Yeah, swim fins. And then you got like
that Cracker Barrel,
and
like that
tire chains.
Yeah. They were selling like smokers, like full-size barbecue smokers outside.
The green egg ones.
I'm like, why do you have this?
But they do. They got the licensing deal. It's okay. That's part of traveling. All right. Rick and Jay, 1999. We're going to start calling you Jay 1999. Congratulations. You were born 20 years after I was. Michael Valdez, as always, welcome from the other side of the planet. I know that you're maybe not watching now, but you're going to watch it in the future. Lorenz is here. You got Jeff up in Canada. What's up, Jeff? If you want to jump in, let me know. I'll drop you a link. And Julius Dembski all the way out on the West Coast, as well as Dave B, 3D printer extraordinaire. What is up, guys, gals, and everything in between? Welcome to the KotoKai Workbench, number 180. Like Paul said, halfway to 360. We're kickflip McTwisting this bitch.
That's right.
I'm about to pour some Woodford into a glass with some Coca-Cola and make a fancy fucking highball.
That is on my my to-do list for tomorrow. I got to do the Christmas booze shopping.
Ahaha. Yeah, it's on the way home for me, so if I want to, I can. I'm doing my extracurricular Christmas shopping, dinners, imbibements, etc. this weekend.
Ooh. Damn, Jeff. I'm sorry to hear, man.
What?
2 weeks off work from the
monster
flu.
Some of a bitch.
Yeah. It's rough.
Are you sure it's the flu?
It's
not the dreaded.
The vid.
I have been shaving a haircut. Never diagnosed. So, and never sick enough to ever take a day off of work. In the last 3.5 years, I haven't taken a fucking day off of work for being sick.
I went like, God, probably like 5 years where maybe I got a really low grade cold. And then as soon as my son started going to school, the last 3 years, I've been sick like 20 times. They bring home the fucking plague.
Word. You just got to start wearing a surgical mask all around and a hazmat suit every time you're around your son.
Yeah.
You're like, trust me, son. This is how it has to be.
Oh, it's terrible.
Who knows this, Jeff? Nah, man, just heal up, Jeff. That's all that matters. Who gives a fuck? Our bodies are strong. Diseases happen, and as immunity continues to, we'll overcome it. The Spanish flu fucking killed like a quarter of the fucking population,
right?
So. And
unfortunately, well, it is what it is, right? But that we're a little late now, right? To like,
well, yeah.
What's done is done. I basically don't think of it as much different than the flu at this point. Like that's pretty much.
Yeah. I kind of
like. It's gonna come around.
Well, here we are, Paul. It is the 12/21. We are nigh on Christmas. Santa hat, must be Christmas. We're end of the year.
Yes.
How are you doing with your builds? How do you feel about yourself this year, Mr. Pauly?
Good. So I'm gonna need everyone's help tonight. I was telling you guys last week about the weapon to the Jesta and how like I had painted some things, and I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna paint everything one color. And my intention was to paint it the color of the frame. And I was like 99.9% sure that I knew what color the frame was. And something told me, like right before I was going to start painting, let me go back through my pictures and make sure that I did this way, because something told me that I painted everything black first. So I go through my pictures. I don't have any. I don't know why. Maybe I deleted them. I go through Instagram, and thank God I posted a picture of the hand of the Jesta however many years ago. And someone asked me in the comments, what color is that?
5.
And I answered them and said, oh, it's Alcalad steel over a gloss black base. And guess what I don't have?
That
Alcalad steel. So I'm like, well, shit.
Regular steel or stainless steel?
I'm assuming it's regular steel because that was what my comment is.
Well, do you have stainless steel?
No, I have aluminum and like some gold and copper colors. And then I have something that's definitely a lot lighter. It's a dark color. No, it's way darker than that.
Okay.
It's I thought it was actually steel from Mr. Color. But the steel from Mr. Color, I don't know if you'll pick it up on camera. It has like just the slightest bit of like brown to it. And that does not. So this is what I was like, oh yeah, I remember painting this. And I've used this paint, so I don't even know what the hell I did paint with it, but it wasn't that. So my choices are just go with that. Like it doesn't have to be identical to the frame. To order Alcalad and get steel, which probably shouldn't take too long, or to paint it neither one of those and just do something like a neutral gray all around, and then it's
Sure.
going to be a little weathered. So I'm going to do some chipping on it and some washes anyway. So I don't know if the base color matters that much. So anyway, those are my choices. So any opinions are welcome.
Talk it out, crowd.
I'm leaning towards just gray, like just painting it. Just there's
Like
some,
a matte.
Yeah, like this is just a real neutral. I think it's called like neutral gray or neutral gray 7 or some shit like that. And then not German
Seven's
gray,
probably
'cause
just
it's a
their
little
personal. That's probably just their personal RAL, like their identifier.
I'm not gonna do German gray because it's a little blue. I want something like as neutral as I can, a little on the darker side, and then I can just pick out. Well, so I have decided, Jeff. Thank you. I don't know why you have so many grays. That's a poor idea. That I am gonna paint the weapon one color. So that I do know. So whatever I choose, whichever one of those 3 options, it's all gonna be that color. And then I may pick out some details with like a brush or like the metal details, but not like the stock is gonna be green and the thing is gonna be gray, or like
have you seen the sniper rifle for the Briegel?
Yeah, right. And well, so for that I can kind of see, because that's like a special weapon. I mean, maybe you don't love it as much as you would hope, but I think for nice-ish. Like this is a grunt suit. Like that was the idea of it.
True.
So the idea is that they're just gonna grab a gun off the shelf type thing. It's not necessarily gonna be custom to that suit. And it's not like a super hyper mega bazooka launcher 5,000. So
right.
So
yeah, no, I mean for my grunt suit that I did, which coincidentally was where the wings for the latest one that I built came from originally, was just like the standard Zaku gun, and then like I rebuilt the Heat Hawk because I feel like the Heat Hawk that they give you with these kits are kind of shitty. So like I just rebuilt it.
On a lot of them, I remember on the HG feeling like it was like really small in their hand. Right? Like I was like, I mean, you think about this giant suit of
hulking
war
machine, and it's like I'm gonna attack you with this like magic wand.
Yeah,
hello, Amora.
Like the smallest hatchet they could find.
Expelliarmus! Like fuck out of here with this shit.
Yeah, I mean, not that it should be like a giant ogre axe or something like that,
or
but like it should be. It could be. It's not like the Death Knight, right? No, I've got. But I feel like it should be substantial. Like it doesn't look like it does any damage. I guess it's probably like
it's more like a heat hatchet than it is like a heat like a heat axe or a heat hawk.
Right. And even then, it's like the heat hatchet that comes with your survival pack when you go camping. Not
right. It actually comes out of the end. You unscrew the knife with the compass on the end. And the hatchet comes out
turn it around and screw it back in.
Right, somehow. Yeah, Acme style. It inflates.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I'm leaning towards is just paint it gray. There is some I think there was 2 pieces of gray on the mobile suit themselves. This itself, like on the top of the feet or something, was a gray. So it looks like that's about the same color, and enough to where you're not gonna notice it. It doesn't have to be identical, but
sure.
It won't, honestly, I just don't want it to stand out. Is more anything. Like I just want it to look like he's just carrying a gun, not that like, oh, look at that thing he's got in his hands.
Yeah, it's where a pink AR-15 or some shit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, word.
So I think I'll go with gray. But yeah, I mean, I was about to load the steel from Mr. Color in the cup, and I was like, like, did I paint it black first? Like that was actually what I was like, did I put a black base down before I did a metallic? And then I'm looking back, I'm like, oh shit, this isn't not it at all. Not the same color.
But you're on the same tip though. You're right. It doesn't necessarily matter that it's not the same color. And you can shift you were talking about, did I put a black base under it? That raises a fantastic question. When we're doing metallics, the base color that we add affects the top color. So
a lot.
Not even just surface temperature.
Also the reflection of, especially when you're doing metallics, like shininess, I guess. If
Yeah.
if you want something like if you want chrome, you have to almost have a gloss.
It has to be the cleanest, flattest, most amazing finish.
Yeah. And then same thing if you want like a dull aluminum, you just go with like a flat, not a flat, but like a non-gloss black base, and you'll get something
black primer, whatever.
But flatter. But yeah, I remember I think the what is the fuck is that thing called? The camphor had like some like super polished pieces on like the shoulder, like underneath the armor. And it wasn't chrome, it was just like a really polished aluminum. And I remember spraying out a couple of times between like just plain, whatever, Mr. Color 1500 gray, and then black, and then I ended up doing an enamel gloss black under it, and that's what gave me the sheen. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yellow with pink is a common thing. We've been speaking that for a minute here on the Mecha Hobby podcast / live streaming world.
Yeah,
I remember I shared that with the Plastic Model Mojo guys behind the scenes, a couple of years ago, and then they turned it out. Mike turned it out to the crew. He's like, I couldn't remember who said this exactly about basing pink under yellow, and I think I picked it up from Tim and Chris, like Tim Harkins and Chris Pabs.
Yeah,
is where I got it from, and then that spun out to somebody else who came back and was like, "Oh, have you heard of this?" And I was like,
yeah."
Like, I heard about it from these guys. So I was like, "Yeah, I told those guys." But it's cool. It doesn't matter because knowledge is fluid. Who cares where it comes from? As long as we know that we have these options and we can pursue them, then who the fuck gives it? It's not about, I don't own it. I'm just sharing. So, like. Yeah.
On that scene, I remember watching someone do, I think it was the real grade unicorn, and you know how they have the shades of white, like it's not all just one white color, like it's got like some of the armor is like a slightly different tone. And the white they used, like the paint white, was just one color. They did the variation in base. So it had like I don't remember what they used. It was something under it to give it like a warmer color, maybe like a brown or something, and then used like a plain white base to give it like a bright white. And there was multiple tones of white just in primer and base.
With my A10, I did purple, yellow, red, green, orange, brown, as well as white, and my modeling. So I did the modeling, and then I did different panels in different tones of under. And then when I went on top of them with that gray tones and the blue tones, it affected that a little bit chromatically. Kind of like give the the panels a little different kind of feel. It's that same philosophy.
Who's the modeler that does that was known for doing the dipples?
It's the Max. Is it Max Watanabe? Isn't it?
Yeah. Like he did the dipples in different colors, and then
and he would do like spots, and he would do like crazy dark, like opaque spots. And then when you overcoat it, it gives you that background.
Right.
Just fantastic.
Or even looks like sun-worn paint. Like I know he would use like a bunch of light colors on like the
and it depends on how you apply it. Yeah.
And
that's cool because like you're thinking like it's like 12-dimensional chess. It's like playing ahead, thinking about what's going to happen down the road, and then working back on that. I've talked a lot about that with different layers of opacity in paints and like building stuff up in transparent layers, as opposed to doing things as like opaque flat, which is cool because that's its own style. That flat tone, that whole tone, that fucking like bold as bitch fucking tone, like that is a style in and of itself. Maybe not like polished to 14,000 gray like that is, but like that Anchoret-esque super satin, almost desaturated mildly, like looks so good. Clean, especially when you're dealing with things at the scale, right?
Chris does that quite a bit. Like he's got like the super clean colors, and the finish on it is really nice. Zach uses Max method, and so does Lincoln. I've seen Lincoln do it a couple of times.
Link's pretty snazzy.
Yeah. I think he was probably the first person I saw do it on like a video or something. I remember he was like hand painting a Barbatos or something, like when he first got into like Gundam stuff. And for me at that point, like at that time, I was like, what the hell is he doing? Like, because you hadn't seen as common, I guess, to see, or for me at least, it wasn't as common to see like hand painting techniques in Gundam. It was mostly like, yeah, like your whole base was just airbrushed, and then whether you went weathered or clean was from that point, you know. So yeah, there's definitely lots of effects you can get.
I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Can you change your background lighting to green?
Sure. Alexa, turn all of the lights green. There you go.
There we go. Jeff made a comment earlier about how we had themed our decorations accordingly.
I don't know if you can see like in my mirror.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, even more green.
Oh, that made it even brighter. Fantastic. I'm trying to like kill the yellow lights in my room to bring the green out.
Maybe I could turn like half of them green and half of them red. I don't know.
You're good. No, the Marasai that lives with Zach from Galactic Toys is in the background, so it gives us
there we go.
Our red tones.
We're holiday.
A little bit of gilding up in there with the fucking Xeon symbol. That's a heavy custom for anyone that's curious. What's up, Ty Furious? Welcome. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas early. Because it's gonna be Christmas when we see each other again. So yeah.
Christmas is what, Monday? Christmas
All
is
Monday.
absolutely Monday.
All day long. Yep.
No longer a Sith Lord.
I'll
always be a Sith Lord, obviously. Jedi's boring. Boring life.
I was like the middle of the road, guys. A little bit of dark, a little bit of light.
Yeah, right. Yeah, balance. You know, in a way, Anakin did bring balance to the Force
by killing all the younglings.
Well, no, but he his son brought balance, so he brought him about.
I mean,
and then he kind of fucked it up again, and then
yeah, it's almost
shit, you could say Emperor Palpatine brought balance to the Force too.
You could.
Maybe everyone just brings balance to the Force.
Maybe
if they just got rid of the Force, it'd be balanced. Huh?
Maybe it's not about balance.
Maybe it's about chaos.
I don't know about that.
Chaos theory. Rey Skywalker.
Rey.
Rey Palpatine.
Oh, man, what a phone in the end of the Star Wars series.
Yeah, wow. that trilogy brought balance to the Force because it made it shit.
It was like, oh, so it was great, and then we like, oh, well, here's these prequels. Shit. All right. So what about these?
Yeah, right. They made the prequels like lovable.
Right. And then the end one's like, oh shit.
Bring back the prequels. It's funny now how people view those differently. You know, so if you would have asked someone like 10 years ago what they thought of the prequels, most people would say, oh, they're horrible. And now people enjoy them or, you know, are endeared to them in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember I took a girl to see the first one, right?
Episode
the first
1, yeah.
Prequel, episode 1. Yeah, I remember I took Leah Christopher, I remember, to go and see it. And she was a Star Wars nerd and like an artist and a creative too. And it was enjoyable for what it's worth, but I was just enamored with the pretty girl that was sitting next to me, so it didn't fucking matter what the fucking movie was. But in hindsight, I kind of like look back on that, and if you've seen like that, so the kid that played young Anakin,
yeah, Jake Lloyd or something, Sure. I don't remember.
I don't know. He was so ridiculed, he just quit acting.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he had one other masterpiece called Jingle All the Way. Where he was the son.
That's right.
Where he was the son of Turbo Man.
I forgot. Dash your dance a pounce of Vixen coming down the Blitzen.
One of the best holiday movies
Dash your dance a pounce of Vixen
of all time.
That's all I can think of is that fucking And then Sinbad.
Put my cookie down.
Oh man, what a thing.
A forgotten Christmas classic, really, I would say.
Well, it's better than the Santa Claus. So
it's turbo time.
It's turbo time. And the thing is, like, what does that dude do for a living? Motherfucker sells mattresses. Right?
Who?
Remember when he goes into the Toys R whoever and goes to buy Turbo Man at the thing? And he's got like the guy from the Bloodhound Gang and some other fucking shitty fucking half-known Nick Swartzen or some shit is there. Yeah. Like laughing at the mammoth of Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger in a toy store. Like, oh, you thought you could get there, one? And this man is a fucking Goliath,
and he was still like
tearing
Arnold
into little
at that point.
Pieces.
Like, he was still looking.
He was definitely True-Lies. Yeah, he was huge. But he's a fucking mattress salesman.
But anyway, he was also in that movie. 2 for 2, really, I would say.
Word. I forget, because he plays the kid, the fucking annoying ass kid. Man.
What was his name? Quit after the second and third? Well, not quit, but like it really, he was on the brink of becoming like a big movie star. The guy who plays Anakin as he's older. I just can't think of his name right now.
Word. Shit. Hayden
Christensen. Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, his trajectory in like Hollywood or in movies was put the cookie down. Phil Hartman was in that movie.
Oh, word, right? Oh,
he was the neighbor.
Phil Hartman, man.
Yeah. But anyway, he was, had a trajectory of movie stardom. And then didn't really recover after that.
Yeah. Rest in power, Phil Hartman. Talent slain by a jealous lover, his wife. Like, holy shit. Let us all not be slain by our wives and husbands, respectively, everyone. Wowza. Welcome, Forest Ghost. You came in at a weird moment.
Yes.
We're talking about Phil Hartman and and Turbo Man.
Jim Belushi was in that movie too.
Oh wait, that's right, because he's in the Santa Claus Club. He's like the Santa. Oh man, I forget about those. Like, I gotta watch that movie again.
Quite a cast when you think about it.
It's got some dark shit in that fucking movie. For real. Like, you don't think about it, and then they're like out in public and they're like causing more than just a ruckus. It's literally like almost like destroying public on an Avengers level of public destruction in the town square for the Turbo Man parade.
Remember the stupid pink bear thing that no one wanted? It was like Booster. Booster.
Yeah, nobody wants Booster. Booster sucks. Fuck Booster. Yes, there's a wonderful holiday conversations going on here. Haha, hello, hey ha. And then Forrest goes, yes, none of us do. None of us want to be killed by your wife specifically.
I have the Turbo Man action figure somewhere. Like, I think it's at my mom's house. Like, they sold it at Target at that point in time.
Sure.
I have to get that. I'm gonna have to find that one. That'll be my mission.
Is it still in box?
No, God, that would be so dope. And remember, like, he buys the ripoff one that's in Spanish.
In Spanish? Word. Hell yeah. It's like when Z was on, he came on the podcast like 2 or 3 episodes ago and was like, talking about Black Barbie or some shit that he gotten. No, Black April O'Neil. He got Black April O'Neil.
Right, yeah, from the new
Ninja Turtles. From the new Ninja
one.
Turtles.
Yeah.
And because they weren't like common here. It was like a weird like shipment. And that's like,
he's
like a rare.
I think he came on. I think that was the live stream. Because I remember him saying that, like,
I think it was a podcast.
Was it? God, I
remember. I think it was the outro. It was the B-rolls on the podcast prior to the one where we had Zach from Galacticon.
Okay. I just remember
early announcement. There is a podcast that is dropping tomorrow. holiday podcast. Our good friend. This guy.
I will be there. You will hear my voice.
It's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait.
Jeff says, in January 2020, Jake Lloyd's family issued a statement saying that he has moved closer to his family and has officially been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. Holy shit.
Yeah, I would imagine all of the fucking vitriol and hate from not only Jingle All the Way.
I think he should be beloved just for that.
Dude, I know this poor kid. I will buy him anytime I run into him in the future in person ever anywhere. I will buy him whatever narcotic he wants. Oh man. Obviously all said in jest, and I wish him well. The what is the podcast topic? It is Festivus. It is the Festivus special. It's a yearly tradition for Build Sideways. Hey. What's up, Alicia? How are you doing, Doku? Good to see you. I saw you posted some reels not reels, but some stories on Twitch recently. You guys should be checking out Doku's live streams if you're not checking out Doku's live stream. She's doing model making and doing fun stuff. So check out Doku on Twitch. So no Phil Hartman. Yeah, no, Phil Hartman is he's long dead.
Yep.
And
lost his battle with crazy.
Wife? That's why we were talking about not getting killed by your significant other.
Yeah. Do your best, guys.
Yeah.
And ladies. We don't want anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, everyone. Everyone. Every Derek is looking forward to his Christmas present. Damn straight. I can't wait to hang out with Derek again. Hopefully next year at the hobby gatherings. If not before, we can just get together and hang out. Alicia and Derek. Hey, friends of mine, they live in Jersey. We're in Jersey. And Julio has a fucking car now, so he can come and visit us too. Julio has a car now.
Yep, he's an adult.
I wouldn't go that far. Togo's like, huh?
What?
Yeah, hopefully I want to try and get him down to one of the hobby meetings. I want to get him to join the MFCA and come down to a couple of the visits down at I'm so proud of him. Fantastic. I want to get Julio to come down to the meetings at AAA and join MFCA. I think it'd be good for him. Let's see. Jeff says, Festivus, how not to get killed by your partner. Okay, I'm done now. The next meeting is next year. Dude, Phil Hartman's characters in The Simpsons. Yeah. Ugh, man, rest in power. Again, we'll drink another one.
Guy in general.
Mm-hmm. Everything, up and down, left and right. What was his character in Jingle All the Way? Is he's just like
he's the neighbor,
he's
like that wants
all the like
yeah,
wives.
He wants to sleep with
yeah, he's like getting with all
Arnold.
the chicks in the hood, and he wants Arnie's girl, and she's just like,
no,
what is wrong with you, man? And he's just like, well, and she's like,
his wife was what's her name? God, Tom Hanks's wife in real life.
Oh,
Rita Wilson.
shit.
Rita Wilson. That was his wife in the movie. So
There you go.
Star-studded
Once
cast,
again.
man. Like
Stars across the board.
I'm
Right.
watching that tomorrow.
I'm gonna watch it this weekend too. It's been one that hasn't come up yet. So, what have you watched for holiday films this year?
I have watched all 3 Grinches.
Wow.
My son loves the newest one. Like he's
So,
loved it since it came out.
What all 3? Hold up. So you have the OG.
Yeah, the original Grinch, which is what, like
they're all
in the 60s,
Ravencrofts, right?
60s,
You got-
50s.
Yeah, the animation.
Yeah,
They're all Ravencroft. You're having fun, Mr. Grinch. That guy's the fucking best. Then you
Jim
have Jim
Carrey's-
Carrey.
Yeah,
Right.
which God, that one is like early 2000s. Like that one is 20 something years old.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. Elf is also 20 years old. Okay, it is what
Yep.
it is. We can't change time. It does not change. However, the Jim Carrey Grinch all of the Who's in that movie are assholes.
Yeah. So I watched this video earlier. Did you notice that there's a part where they were having a key party? Like,
yeah, I think I remember that.
And like, I never really even thought about it, but I was like,
there's so many
going on in
Whoville? Yeah, there's so many subtle messages in there that is like, really, the Grinch ain't all that bad. Like, he's fucking body shamed. He's like everything out of. He's kicked the fucking ostracized just for being a regular, and he's like a pretty straightforward dude. But all the other like Who's with their fucking upturned, and they all have these crazy upturned noses, right?
Yep.
Like they're always like really weird messaging in that film. Really weird holiday films. Okay, so what is the third Grinch? I don't know.
So there's a newer one. I want to say it came out like either 2020 or 2021, and it's animated. And it's kind of in the style of like the Minions. Like it's I think it's animated by that same studio. So and it's got a new voice actor. I'm not sure who it is, but he likes it. I mean, I support anything that's still animated because, like, on the Disney side, they're trying to make every fucking animated movie ever into a live action. So I don't know. Like, I'm like, come on, like, it's for kids though. Like, I loved animated movies.
He's super stoked on the new one. Have you shown him the old like Roald Dahl I think that's the name of the company that did it, the Rudolph's Red-Nosed Reindeer,
the clay toy. Santa Claus is coming to town. We've watched. So this year we have not watched those. I'll probably put those on maybe Saturday. We watched the Three Grinches, we watched Elf, we've watched both Home Alones. He likes those. I think this is the first year he's actually sat through them and watched them. And
the only real Home Alones.
Yeah, they're just like, Home Alone 1 and 2. I know there's like 3, 4 at least now, but
I think there's 5 or 6 actually. They're terrible.
Okay, yeah, no, just 1 and 2. They have to have Pesci in them. If they don't have Pesci, we're out.
Harry and Marv, man, they gotta have Harry and Marv.
We watched those. What else have we seen? I think we watched Polar Express. Jeff said, he likes Polar Express.
Oh, Polar Express! Wow, the uncanny animation of Polar Express, huh? Yeah. It is really surreal. Like, you take a fucking eighth ounce of mushrooms or some gummies or whatever, you know, and watch that shit.
Have yourself an experience.
You'd be all right. So Jeff says that his wife refuses to say that Die Hard is a fucking Christmas film, which is ridiculous. Albeit, how else would there be a desolate area with a party in Nakatomi Tower for Hans Gruber to try and take down, right? So that's all I got to say about that. There's no reason for if it was 4th of July, there wouldn't be a party there. They'd be out doing a barbecue or something like that. There wouldn't be a Thanksgiving party. That's not a thing. Christmas party, that's kind of like how it all goes. And so, yes, ergo, Christmas movie. Gremlins, Christmas movie.
Yep.
Horror, Christmas movie. Wonderful. Lethal Weapon, Christmas movie as fuck.
There's part of it, like, isn't the end of it? He
all
crashes
of it
through the Christmas tree.
Like
that fight on the lawn. Don't they?
Credits play Jingle Bell Rock.
Yeah,
I shit you not. The whole movie is just shooting Christmas in your face like a porno movie. It's just Christmas everywhere, all up in your grill.
We watched A Nightmare Before Christmas as well. Which
well, that's they
get to claim 2 fucking holidays. I don't know how I feel about that,
but they're like the 2 best holidays, arguably. Christmas, Halloween.
We watched 4 Christmases. That's the one with what's his name? Really tall guy from The Wedding Crashers, Vince Vaughn.
Really tall. Vince Vaughn? Yeah, I was gonna say, really
it's a comedy.
It's for you. Wow. What did I watch? Just Friends?
Oh, I love that. Yes, I love that movie.
Ryan Reynolds. I have never seen it before.
It's funny.
But I was just like, it's okay. Like, the thing that I noticed the most about that film is that Ryan Reynolds' voice is really keyed up.
Yeah.
Like, the whole film, he's all talking like in a high voice. Like I'm Ryan Reynolds. Oh, hey, and then like Then occasionally he'll be like, "Oh, this is real Ryan Reynolds. I'm Deadpool," and then occasionally,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah," and just like it got me. All right, I was like,
But that was like the tail end of his pure comedy career. Like before that, he was, Van Wilder, and like he hadn't
Right.
done anything other than kind of stupid comedy movies.
but
At
even
that
in
point.
Van Wilder, he didn't have that like lilting,
Yeah.
like that. Like,
Well, he was, I think
They played
that
it
was
up.
like to portray him as like the nerd, like the
Yeah, well, which is fucked. Like, goddamn, like seriously, deep-throated nerds of the universe unite! Like, come on, dude, fuck! Like, give us a break. Our vocal range is not always that high.
I watched Santa Claus, the one with Tim Allen.
Yeah, the Santa Claus. All right, here we go. Manny, go back and watch the first 30 minutes of the episode. We literally talked about Jingle All the Way for 30 minutes straight. But we appreciate you. Welcome, and happy holidays. Home Alone 22. Kevin is left alone in his retirement home, fucking hooked on junk. No, obviously. Batman Returns, absolutely. Super horny holiday film.
Okay, so the new Grinch came out in 2018, and Benedict Cumberbatch plays the Grinch.
Oh, what is this? Butterscotch Cumberbund, or whatever. what the fuck, man? Oh shit! What did I think that's what Candace was calling him. Yeah, Candace and Julio. Where's Julio? Dang it! War in the Pocket. Word.
Yeah, I have not watched War. So someone else said that. What was I watching or listening to? But that's not a movie.
No, it's a series.
It's going to take you. Yeah, what does that take? That takes you.
It does. It takes like
5 hours, 6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 8 episodes, I think, or 8.
The Wing movie is a Christmas movie as well.
Endless Waltz.
Endless Waltz, and it's a movie. Huh. It takes place on Christmas, like the whole thing. It's an operation taking place on Christmas.
Pretty wild. Yeah, I do like the War in the Pocket is themed. There's like the Christmas tree, and he's like begging for presents and shit because he's an annoying ass little kid, and yeah, that's a real depressing ass. Butterscotch Cumberbund, there it is. Butterscotch Cumberbund. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumberbund. Yeah. So I still have some that I have to watch. Bad Santa. I have to catch that still. I like watching that.
Oh, true. Have you watched Rare Exports yet? Gotta watch Rare Exports.
No, and I haven't watched Die Hard yet. That's usually like I'll watch that.
What? That's the one you start with.
I'll usually watch
that
on
one.
Christmas
Goes down
Eve.
on Black Friday. When you watch, you're like, I watched that on Christmas Eve. I always watch the Scrooges, so I watch the old timey Scrooge from 1926.
Muppets.
I try to watch, and then leading up to that, I watch Scrooged with Bill Murray. That usually comes down the 2 or 3 days prior. I go Lampoon's Vacation. 2 or 3 days prior, I go for White Christmas, which is a family favorite of me and my folks. I always watch that one around the holiday season. Kalina's got me into watching It's a Wonderful Life, but like we watch that towards New Year's.
Yep.
Because like life is hard the older you get. And what else is coming up? So I did Gremlins. I did Elf, 20-year anniversary.
Yep.
I did.
Sylvia watched Lampoons. I didn't watch it, but she was watching.
Yeah, I do. I didn't the Lampoons yet. I did the Die Hards 1 and 2 because 2 is also on Christmas. I did the Home Alones. I did Krampus on Krampusnacht. So you got to watch, on Krampusnacht, which is like the 15th of December or something like that. That's Krampus night. So you got to watch Krampus then, the original one. I have yet to watch. It's what is it? Christmas Horror Story, which is a compilation film of short stories, which is voiced over by William Shatner, and stars like a bunch of cool little, like there's like a changeling one, and there's like a Santa goes, like old man pretending like thinks he's Santa, goes crazy with an axe and kills a bunch of people thinking that they're elves, and like a bunch of crazy cool shit goes down. It's real fun. Yeah, there's so many good Christmas films. So those of you, I want to talk about Rare Exports for a half second, because Paul, I know you know about Rare Exports.
Yep.
It is a Finnish film, something like that. For those of you out there that don't know about it,
definitely Finnish, Scandinavian of some sort.
Right,
it's not Finnish, it's Norwegian or something.
or Norwegian or some shit.
Yeah,
right? I recommend you go watch it. Fantastic. Less than 0. It's a permanent midnight. I don't know. Fuck it. Like, let's go deep. Krampus. Yeah. Manny Krampus with the guy from, not Bill Hader, but the guy from that was in SNL.
Ed Helms?
No. Hang on. Wait, no, he's in there too. Yeah, no, Ed Helms is there too.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'm gonna look it up here. Krampus, bitches. Oh, it's a comedy.
There's also, if you want,
it has the lady from Little Miss Sunshine in it, the mom, and she's also in Hereditary.
Yeah.
It's on.
If you want to really ramp up the anxiety before the holidays, you can watch. There's an episode of The Bear. Are you familiar with that show? It's about like cooking. So they have the
restaurant,
the family episode around Christmas with his mom, and so I really like the show, and I'm watching it, and Sylvia was like, "This, like, I have so much anxiety watching this episode," and I was like, "What do you mean? This is just like my family."
She's like,
feels normal.
For real. I know for you, yeah, it's a comfort film.
Yeah,
like Colleen when she gets all like bummed out and like fucked off on life, she watches The Descent as her comfort film. The fucking Descent. I have a heart. I'm a big guy. I got a lot of space. I need space.
Caves are not.
So like the close spaces, me no like you very much. I'll climb a tree. I'll climb any fucking sketchy ass thing, whatever. I will fucking climb it all to the sky. But you put me under the fucking ground, I am not a fan. Like,
I agree with you.
No, thank you. No fucking thank you. Das Boot. Might as well put in Slaughterhouse 5. Sick Filthy. Let's see.
Yeah, I'll watch all of the 70s stuff and like 60s and 70s claymation ones at some point. Probably like Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. I'll put those on. Miracle on whatever is going to be on all fucking Christmas Day or a Christmas.
Sorry,
Christmas Story.
Yeah, which is fine.
Fucking day.
I'll let that run a couple of times.
You know what? I don't know if I've ever actually seen that movie like from start to finish. I've just seen it.
Sketch
like
yeah, for real. Let me think. So classics for me. The Night They Saved Christmas, which is like really weird-ish Christmas film. I found it when I was probably like 9 or 10. And it's like, it's based around this like family that's like a mining family. And they're in like Alaska or like way up towards the north end of Canada, I guess. They're like living in like these like trailers or something. When I was a very little child, I lived in a trailer with my family while my house was being built. And like they're this whole like weird thing where like the kid is having problems with like school, and I had a lot of trouble with people in school when I was a kid. I was in a lot of trouble when I was very young, and like that totally related to, but it was this whole like story about like the magic of Christmas, and like the mom was fucking hella attractive and like I don't know. So the movie is called The Night They Saved Christmas. It is like kind of like medium quality filming, but have you ever seen Santa Claus the movie?
Santa
Claus the movie. It has Dudley Moore in it. And yeah, I know. You're like, what the fuck? Like know. these are like actually pretty big films from back in the day. The Descent. Oh shit, nice.
John Lithgow was in that. Wow.
Yeah. He plays like the toy magnate, and he's like very John Lithgow.
I don't believe I have. No.
You gotta watch.
Like I don't recall it.
Brother, man, add them to the list. So the night they Not Mike. Oh, you silly phone.
My wife was actually watching. What's the English one where like it cuts from different people? It's got Rick from The Walking Dead and Keira Knightley when she was very young.
Wait, what?
It's set in England, and it like cuts. It takes place like right around Christmas, and it cuts between like different stories. And it's got, like I said, Rick from The Walking Dead. He was quite a bit younger, and Keira Knightley when she was young.
I don't know that one. So the night they saved Christmas, right, was is a film from 1984. So it's old as fuck. It has Art Carney as Santa Claus, and he's got kind of like a New York accent, and he's kind of like, he bitches at the elves for singing Jingle Bells, and like he's real, like he's nice, but he's like really like also kind of a little bit crass, and like there's a lot of like weird technology that goes on in that film. Jacqueline Smith is the mother, and like she's a fucking stunner in '84. Cannot deny it. Scott fucking Grimes. I didn't realize Scott Grimes was the older brother. Holy shit.
Love Actually. Thank you, Forrest. Love Actually is the movie I was thinking of.
Oh, Love Actually. Yeah. I don't watch any of that shit about romance. Yeah, no, it's just like old films. Yeah, it's just what it. Santa Claus the movie. Let's see, Santa. You mentioned this one that it had
Christmas.
Yeah, Santa Claus the movie was the next fucking year, believe it or not. John Lithgow, Dudley Moore, Chris Fitzpatrick. Oh, is the kid? Whoa. Holy shit.
I was gonna say, so, in Scott Grimes must have been really young for that one too, right? For The Night They Saved Christmas.
Yeah.
He would have been a kid, yeah.
Yeah. Like hands down. Burgess Meredith was the ancient elf, and he's like old as shit in that film, and man, it's actually fairly good. The thing is, like, if you're into holiday films, you're gonna be like open to looking at a lot of different things, like and the thing about
judge holiday movies with the same criteria as like a movie, you know what I mean? Like it just has to be entertaining. Like it's not right. I am not expecting Oscar quality, acting in this.
Oh, Michael Valdez says, have you guys seen The Night Before with our man Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Green, and is it who's the other player? Is
Captain America?
Yeah, no, the guy who plays Winter Soldier or plays the Falcon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name now.
Neither can I right now. I'm drawing a blank. Normally, I would probably be able to, but I've had a few drinks, so
I can't even think of his name in that movie. So it's...
On your left, that's his name. No. Oh, good night, Jeff. Oh, fuck. Yeah, feel well, man. For real. Chris Collins. What is up? High five to Kim for the fucking fantastic cookies, my man. But when it comes to like holiday films and stuff, it's kind of like holidays is like the Christmas holiday is such a weird thing because it means so many different things to so many people, but at the same time, it means the same thing to so many different people. Like, I don't view it as a regular Christian holiday. Because I'm not like a regular Christian, but like I have the traditional normal stuff that carried over from all the old things that like all the traditions, like the Christmas trees and like the togetherness and like the gathering together and celebrating the solstice and the thank God it's the end of winter or the start of the longer days kind of thing, like sort of deal. Like I get jive with that as I've gotten older and kind of understand things a little bit more. And I really think that my whole youth I spent every year singing in choirs, doing Carol of the Bell, like doing the bell choir for various churches. I used to volunteer and participate in all sorts of stuff. I was the all singing, all dancing crap of the world out there in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. So like I was doing like a concert here, a concert there, a concert wherever, because I used to have like a really, really fucking good singing voice and musical ability. I still, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that kind of shit. Anthony Mackie. Yeah, Valdez, you the best. And yeah, and so like for me, like Christmas is like one of my favorite holidays because of all of that stuff. Like I really jive on every aspect of it. Like I fucking enjoy going to watch little kids do the nativity play, and like I love singing Silent Night with the candlelight choir, and I love like doing all that shit. Like to me, that's like really like wholesome and recharges my spirit. So like this time of year for me is a really powerful time. So to be able to be positive about all of the different aspects of it and like share with everyone and like to have this conversation with you, Paul, and the people in the chat and everything, for me is incredibly important and very like poignant to me.
Absolutely.
So like, yeah, like here at 10 o'clock, an hour into the show, I'm going to be like, thank y'all for fucking being here for real. Like, and anyone that's watching this in the future, like, please keep watching, you know, have a good time. Please participate and be a part of the community, because the community only exists if we participate in it. So whatever your involvement is, however that might be, know that you're valuable and that you have a good thing to put into it, and that you can always grow and bring things out of it and add stuff to it. So like we all, you know, we all get better together. Like fuck a lot of clout or fuck a lot of like,
I think
whatever.
A lot of times, like, yeah, it's a hobby. If you're not enjoying yourself and it doesn't make you happy, why are you doing it? Right? Like, and just enjoy it. Like,
yeah,
and it'll come out in different ways. You know, like you don't have to be the best at anything. Just enjoy yourself and be a member, and you'll enjoy it. It'll be a good experience. I promise.
I agree 100%, Paul. Thank you.
I agree. Like, so I'm atheist and I love Christmas time. Like, you know, even obviously now it's changed a little bit because of my son, but even pre that, like, you know, it's just a fun time to be around your family and your loved ones. And I think it's one of those cool times where you get to let that guard down about what you think is like cool, or what like the preconceived notions about what's cool. You could just watch a stupid claymation cartoon movie and get a kick out of it and enjoy it. And you don't have to like think too deep into like anything. How does this make me feel? Nah, I'm just watching fucking Rudolph. It's all right. Like,
dude, dead ass. Like,
whip the eggnog out.
Mild trigger warning to anyone that's listening in the future. Like, I've been in some dark places. Like, I don't lead an easy interior life. So, like, having the positive outside is like very, very crucial to me. And like, as I have been growing and like continuing to live these years, like it gets better, and there's always like it can always get better. So it's important to keep that in mind too, that like where we are now, even like as things get like weird at the end of the year, it is always like a place for us to reflect upon the things that have happened and to draw from the good parts and move towards a better future. Which I just got real deep for a second, but sometimes you got to. So,
absolutely,
hells yeah. All right, Paul, Dom, next year.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. That is on the beginning of the year list.
We started that almost 100 episodes ago, right?
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, the resin conversion. Yeah.
But that one, so we worked on it for, I don't know, what would you say, like maybe a month or so, give or take?
Yeah, probably. Like, I think there was 3 or 4 weeks of episodes.
What I remember about that one too is we were trying to do it almost entirely on stream. So when we say we were working on it, it wasn't as if like it was 4 weeks of us working on it off stream as well, and we didn't get anywhere. It was only I would only take that model out on Thursday night and
Mhm.
do whatever we were doing. But after like, let's say that month at 4, it just got put away. So
Yeah, pretty
it's
much.
it's not like we've been actively working on this thing for,
No.
you know, we worked on it for 4 or 5 weeks or whatever, and then it went back in the box and
Yep.
we moved along. I don't remember what exactly came about. Like there's some kind of contest or something that we.
Yeah, neither do I.
You definitely
but-
pushed towards. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's been sitting in a box since.
I have mine right there. I see it. I keep it in the open, and it's written in black or blue magic marker on the box to let me know that it's there. So I know that I have to do it. I started doing some different mods to it. You know, I added a little bit to the heels. I changed with the back skirt a little bit. I started making my own metal parts for the shoulders, for the
I had those little rivet hole almost. Like I don't remember what they were exactly.
Well, they're like beam. They're like a beam emitter. They're like a weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they are. But
I think I did the same thing with the ankle because there was something weird about like the ankle fitment. I think I like added a plate and to like or a plate or two just to raise the ankle up a little.
Yep.
I remember like the feet I had pretty much done, and I had to like cut the inside of the feet like of it quite a bit to get the thing to pop in.
Yeah, it doesn't want to sit.
No, and I think the feet are all like glued up as well.
Okay,
if I remember right. And I remember
I think mine are in a couple of different parts.
The only thing I remember is not glued is around that like cannon thing on the bottom. It has those like eyelids that go, and I didn't glue those on.
See, no, I did that. I did those. I did like the whole assemblies,
like the
sides with the
and
I also changed. Yeah, and I think I changed them a little bit. I added some parts because that's just me.
I remember having to honk a lot out of the torso, like the center section too, to get those two clamshell pieces
to get that
around it.
Fit. Oh, yeah. It did not. Yeah, it was not a happy join. Yeah, the weirdness is going to be also the head with the visor.
I did that as well. I remember cutting the clear plastic visor to fit into the new piece, and it was a little warped still. I had to like mess with that.
I didn't even do that at all. I didn't even fuck with that.
I remember I think I have to take that, leave the plastic in there, and then dip it in some hot water to get it to like suck up around the plastic because some of it was kind of bowed. Yeah,
it's real thin. It's gonna be kind of funky. So, what are you doing for weapons?
It didn't come with anything really, did it? It just left you with the stock. I don't even remember.
There was like I
don't even remember what it's supposed to have.
The OG Dom has like a different kind of bazooka, and it comes with the resin we got came with shield embellishments for it to make it into a different bazooka. But
that's right.
I use the Rick Dom that comes with the hyper bazooka, so I don't have that other bazooka. But I got one sent to me from one of the participants, the community people. Was it Sam? Was it Ungawa? No, who did that? Shit. What kind of friend am I? I can't remember. Obviously it's been 2.5 years, but I can't remember offhand. I still have that one though. They sent me the bazooka that's supposed to go with it, so that I could change it.
Remember it? I know I believe I have 2 bazookas.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember what they look like. I just remember there's 2.
My thought with it though was that I have the giant heat hawk resin that we were talking about, not the weird giant halberd heat hawk. I have that one, the resin one from Simpro.
Yep.
And then I also have one of the sniper rifles. I chose the light sniper style from that one that Alex and I both did back in 2018.
Oh God, yeah.
Right? What the fuck is that one called? It's a purple box. I cannot even remember. My age is showing. It's been 5 years.
I remember what you're talking about, and it has like a couple of different ways you can build it to make it.
Yeah, there's like 2 different snipers that come out of the box. Yeah, and it's weird plastic. It's like weirder than Koto plastic. It's really bizarre.
That wasn't Simpro, right?
No, it's not Simpro. It is a Oh man, where's Jeff? He went to bed.
Jeff.
Let me look at my. I'll go to my YouTube. Quick to the YouTubes.
It also came with the. It's not a beam sword, right? What is it? A Heath sword?
No, mine didn't come with that.
I have it. It's just a rod of. I mean.
Wait, you mean the Dom?
Yeah.
The
What is
Dom
that
bit.
called?
Yeah.
It's not a beam saber though, because it doesn't retract.
No.
It's like just a
What is
giant
it?
stick.
It's like a
heat saber.
almost like
it's a heat saber. Okay.
But it's not a saber though. Like the Goof has a saber. It's like
no. It's just like it's more like a
kind of like
it's like a just a what's that like a fencing weapon?
Here we go.
Like a.
It is the HAR series MK01 MK02. Aha. I have it here on my phone.
G Temple.
Yep, G Temple. High performance, some or other.
Yeah, that came out right around the time as the GM Sniper 2.
6 fucking years ago.
I love
wild
that kid.
The thing is, it doesn't seem like it was more than just a couple. It was 6 years ago. Like for example, the Marasai that is built up here, I built this in 2018 or 2019 or 2020, I think. Yeah, 2020 for Zach's Char month or whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What?
I remember that.
The hard series. There it is. Julius Dembski. Thank you. We had it at the same time. This guy.
He knows.
He knows what's up. What it is. Man, I stopped making just recorded videos 6 years ago, didn't I? We went to live streams, folks. And here we are, baby. Rocking and a rolling.
Yeah, I'll use one of the bazookas. I remember that it's got that like the resin piece is that big shield.
Yeah, that blast shield. Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, really poignant, or like not poignant necessarily, but like really distinctive for the Funf version of the dome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, I remember wanting to paint it in that like deserty kind of color, like the beige and brown, not the purple and black. I don't want to do purple and black.
And then there is the Rakuten bazooka. Thank you, Chris. See, that's a deal. Get all these good friends come through and help us out. We forget about the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, I don't.
It's fantastic.
There was a time when I would pay attention to what all this stuff was called, and now I'm like, I don't know.
If you're not actively working on it, for example, like I haven't worked on the Dom in like 2.5 years, so
yeah. Well, I just was a lot more up on like variants and like what made them different at that point. And like now I'm like, oh, that looks cool. What is it?
True.
Beam sabers. Yeah, especially like all the Advanced Zeta stuff. Like I can't really remember much of it, but I used to thought all those designs were so cool. the raisin play and the whatever.
And they are very cool.
They are, but I cannot remember the name of them anymore.
That is a lot of shit to remember. Especially with all the rest of the shit that we have to remember. Here we go. Chris says, I got the color clear 1.5 mg because I'm a consumer whore. Maybe I should have read that before I read it.
They
I don't think you are.
Is that like the color clear is like the still colored but clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not the mechanical clear ones like the Sinanju.
No. The mechanical clear ones have the metal colored frames and stuff, and then the clear armor.
Yeah,
which is
completely
like
clear armor.
Yeah, it's like the heavy weapon system Hainu that I had gotten.
Yeah.
Jeff is also
he did the Sinanju, I think, right?
He did the Sinanju at least once. as well as the high new and
The new as well.
the new. Yeah, I can't remember if we did both the high new and the new or just the new. Can't remember.
I think
But yeah,
I remember the new now because I remember the frame of the new, and the new has the psycho pieces. I
Yeah,
remember he had psycho pieces on them.
and the high new
Dom
is
the
just
only
too
one
much.
that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for most of the the clear, any of the weird injection stuff, like the clear injection or like the what's that other thing, like the metallic injection, that they do for the armor. I forget what that's called.
There was one. Oh wait, is it the metal build? No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of. There was one that was like from Reconquista that was the color clear. That was pretty fucking rad. Shit. It was green. I don't know. It was pretty rad. That was one of the few exclusives that I thought was kind of cool, but
Yeah,
it's not really my steez. So
I have a master grade, a stray gold frame, and the armor is like that pearlescent injection molding. I
Gotcha.
feel like I just got it because it's the only way you could get the gold frame, but I have no interest in the armor's getting painted if and when I ever get to that. The armor's not going to be
word.
gloss injected, whatever.
No, and that was the same deal for me with the heavy weapon system clear,
Yeah.
or the mechanical clear heavy weapon system behind you. Oh, the fucking name. Was that like I got a good deal on it, and like I was going to potentially do a paint scheme on it where it looked like the color was draining out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it would be like some of it would be opaque, some of it would be translucent, some of it would be like transparent, and then it would look kind of like everything was kind of washing down. But as I like thought more and more about it, I realized how really complicated that was going to be for me to try and achieve the goal that I had, and realized that it was much better for me to give the kit to somebody that wanted it versus me trying to brainstorm some sort of magical unicorn.
I like the like I said, I've seen a lot of people do like crazy inner frames and then the clear armor, and I think that looks good. Like it's a cool display piece, I think. But I don't know.
I need to.
I don't know if I would buy one.
Awesome. I need to make sure that Chris Collins. Oh, my phone is talking to us. I had to make sure that Chris Collins was a admin and could post links. I couldn't remember if he was or not. He is a mod. Fantastic. Oy, oy, oy. Oh, so I built this. Built this little guy.
The
A little bit late in the show.
Zaku Warrior.
Look at this bitch. I built this thing in just under 2 hours. Isn't he fancy?
Yeah, that one's pretty simple, right? Like snap together.
Well, yes and no. It's a lot of parts. I'm not gonna lie. Like if you know what you're building, it makes it easier, but no. But if you look at it next to its bigger brother, the whole reason I bought and built this kit is for narcissism, just so that I could show it next to what I turned it into.
The torso looks much better proportioned in the
oh my goodness, does it not? Like, and like it doesn't have the big head. It has like a neck now. It has like the actual neck.
Did you do something to like the knee joint, or is it just that it's bent that it looks longer?
Yep. I did something to the knee joint. I extended all of that shit. I extended the thighs. I extended the knee joint. I extended the ankles. Like way down. I extended the forearmor. I extended the torso. I extended the upper arms. I extended the lower arms. I extended the neck. I extended the head. So not just the neck, but where the head is. I made the head taller. There's a fucking head. You can see the mono eye in mine. Can you see the mono eye in this little Who's it? Who's this? He's like, oh, I was a high diver and I crashed my head and now I'm on fucking 90 Day Fiance. Like, no, this is Chad. This is Lil Ed. This is Big Chad. Talking a lot of shit right now. No, but like, yeah. So, and obviously, look at the length of the hose that I made for the Zaku versus the little segmenty bullshit.
Yeah, and just a completely different side skirt there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, completely different side skirt. Whole new everything. Like I said, I added an 1.5 inches to the overall height of Big Ed here to turn it into this guy. Like,
I like the wings quite a bit, like that.
Oh yeah, the wings are not really
tethered good, look. Like, looks like they've been shot through. It looks cool. Yeah,
I'm starting to get good at some of the things that I do, and then I did some stuff with color modulation and like the way that the paint is applied to add shading and I'm growing. Or trying to.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this was kind of fun to be like, oh, that ripped his foot off. He deserves it. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Look what you made me do.
He is a mod. He gets to approve all the swearing posts.
Oh yeah. Excelente.
We thank you for your service.
Indeed, Chris, you're the best, and can make some fantastic cookies as well.
So I'm gazing through USA Gundam Store. What did you think of the Master Grade Sinanju Stein getting like basically another version of?
You mean more of the same?
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of the same.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
They could have just fucking made a Barbatos for the fuck. It doesn't fucking matter. I love this Sinanju Stein. Like, do not get me wrong. I love the Sinanju Stein. What I think is happening is that they have, when the pandemic hit, right? You know, narrative was coming through. The pandemic hit. Everything slowed down. I think that they're still on the same timeline. I feel like these are kits that should have been released 2 years ago.
Right. Like they just hit pause for like 2 years.
Because
that makes sense. Yeah.
They already had all of this. The thing with like these businesses, like, you know, having my own part of a larger schemed industry and like, you know, understanding a little bit of what goes on or what needs to go on for stuff down the way. I can only imagine the tooling that had to go into doing the master grade narrative style Verkov, and then like, you know, the Sinanju Stein. Okay, so that is a bit of a reprint, you know, so they have a bunch of the molds for it already. So there wasn't necessarily part separation on the sleeves elements before, potentially, blah, 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 whatever, you know, but it's kind of more of the same because they already had a Stein Verka. So they really only had to like, a little bit to it. So, you know, but at the same time, they're not going to just like, you know, we already did the R&D. We already have the molds in production. We're already like, you know, they're at the CNC facility, you know, we can't just like turn back on it now. So they kind of have to ride that storm out a little bit. And I feel like there's going to be a little bit of this like accordion aspect to it, where like we're getting, at first we get a little bit of this, and then we're getting a little bit of that, and there'll be like a where we're going to get, you know, Stein narrative Gundam, you know, weird short, you know, kind of things. They don't really seem like they fit too much because like, when the fuck was narrative? Does anybody remember narrative? Witch of Mercury was already, and Witch of Mercury's gone, and who remembers fucking Witch of Mercury now? Ultimately, who's thinking about it? Like, I'm not, but who am I? You know, I'm nobody. But at the same time,
2018 Gundam narrative was 2018,
right? And that's 5 years ago, and now they're finally releasing the kits for it that they should have probably done in, you know, 2020.
Yeah,
years after.
What's interesting too is their packs, right? And it would seem to me like they would have done that how they did like the Jesta and the Jagan. You know, we got like some packs of those, but they came out kind of like right away, back to back. Like, was it the Jesta or the Jig? I don't remember. Yeah, like the A, B, and C packs or whatever. That might have been from Narrative too. And like it seems like this should have been back when they released the Stein narrative. Like 3, 4, 5 months later, they would have released
It was like they got that out.
Yeah.
Word. And the Stein narrative is
they just didn't have something to release, and they were like, "What can we do? Oh, we got this one." So
G fucking self. God damn it.
Yeah.
You'll sell 1 million of them.
I do love I'm with you though. The Sinanju narrative is Sinanju Stein narrative, great kit, and like
fantastic.
Holy shit, do you get your money's worth in plastic?
Word.
Like you have like enough parts to build like 3/4 of another one.
Yo,
and they're good parts.
The regular Stein Verka from 2016 or whenever the hell that came out, 2015, 2016, when that one was print, the Stein Verka has so much extra goodness in it itself.
Yep.
And then when they did the narrative, I was like, what? And then now Verka again on top of that, it's almost like triple stuffed Oreos.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with all this filling?
We're also, I guess we'll get you'll get decals with it as well, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, but you can.
I mean, not that that's a big deal. I'm just thinking about.
And our Bandai decals really get good.
No, it's funny you say that. I was just looking at on the weapon for the Hyakushike. I used a couple of Bandai decals because I needed like the AU signs and stuff, and I was like, and so on the same weapon, I have those, and I have caution marks from
Tim.
Yeah. So like in one piece you have both decals, and I'm like, God, like they're so different in how thick they are. Like I had to lay down heavy clear to get the Bandai ones to even remotely look somewhat
you have
flat.
You have to go ahead and throw down some fucking X20A or some shit on top of that.
Yeah.
Smush them to melt them.
Just doesn't. Let me actually have them here. Yeah, you guys aren't gonna be able to see them, but yeah, it's. I don't know. I still
put your hand behind it. Cover your face.
I don't know if you're gonna notice though, like the
almost
like the details on that.
OBS. Oh, there it is. Ooh.
It's so weird that it's
good though. Man, your camera looks great when OBS isn't destroying the focus.
I gotta take the tape off, I suppose. I didn't even notice I left that on.
Well, you know.
What's yellow on there?
Oh, better than posting a photo of it and having it be like, oh shit, I didn't peel that part.
It happens.
So, yeah, I know it happens, and the fucking weird part about it is it'll happen like you'll be like 5 days later and be like, oh shit, I never peeled that part. Like fuck.
Peeled the tape.
100 likes later on Instagram, where the fuck ever. It doesn't matter. Like, oh shit. Well, I meant
yeah, you could still make out a little bit of the edge on the decal. Like it's not silvered, but it's just you can see it.
You get the raised. You get like the raised element of it, right?
Yeah. Like I probably would have had to do multiple layers of gloss and then flat, which I didn't.
Right, or you have to go like gloss, and then wet sand the gloss down, and try not to burn through the pigment. Some of the decals that come through with Edward kits and some of the newer higher end kits, the carrier film is dissolvable, so you can lay them down and dissolve the carrier film off of them after they're laid down.
That's pretty cool.
Which is kind of crazy. I have never done it, but I know that it can be done. Or at least I've heard of it.
That's interesting.
And I really have to go to the bathroom, so I'll be back in just half a second.
We need all of the Turn A's in Master Grade. Yes, we do. Well, we have the Turn X, and the Turn A was what, the 100th Master Grade? Which I still think holds up pretty well, but there's a lot of stuff in Turn A that could use a Master Grade for sure. 0083. What's that? Stardust Memory? Like all of those could use a 2.0. I don't know if that would be that hard either, especially with like the GPO1 and the GPO3 would probably share quite a bit of parts, I would think. But what do I know? But yeah, there's a lot, and we've talked, I think last week and the week before. I need to get a Turn X. Hasn't been reprinted in a while. Yeah, great kit. We talked before, I think it was last week or the week before, how the Barbatos, like that frame, the IBO frame, they didn't really do much of anything with. They had you got the one Barbatos, and I think maybe they had some option parts for it, but that's really it. So it would be nice to see some more out of that, but right now master grades are kind of low on Bandai's priority list, that it would appear, at least. So I don't think we're gonna get a whole lot anytime soon.
Not me, damn it. No, you're right. And so with that, agreed, conversation point, the master grade Barbatos frame, there was the start of that IBO expansion into that master grade lane. Everybody loves the Barbatos. There's obviously Barbatos is mad popular. They did the SDMG, but is that also part of this accordion progression?
It could be, yeah. Because when did that come out? That was probably like 2018, 2019, somewhere in there.
The
Master Grade Barbatos.
Master Grade? I would love to pull it down, but my ceiling fan will clip me if I grab it. I have to do like jogging to get it out. I have the box right here. But yeah, it's in that area, 2019, maybe. Maybe late? Because it's not that old.
No. Looking through. I don't remember. Another thing that may help though with IBO is they're coming out with a new animation project related to that time frame. So or that universe.
There's also there was that weird game in there too where they were where like Iron Blooded Orphans was incredibly popular, and then they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a mobile game related to it, and
that
everyone was
really
like
work.
No one cares. Like,
yeah,
you maybe like you have like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people on the planet that give a fuck about it. Like, is it worth your millions? Maybe. The thing about it is, you don't know until you try. So, when it comes to innovation, when it comes to trying new things, when it comes to like trying to further the community or broaden horizons, you have to like see what fit, throw things around.
Wow. Yeah, so the Barbatos was December 2019.
Master Grade Barbatos.
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah. So that was COVID.
3 months prior to COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, well, for us, but they had already started dealing with it.
Oh, true.
Yeah, we were like a little later.
Yeah, like January.
Yeah,
roughly.
Yeah, so that might have had a lot to do with that, I would guess.
For sure.
Because I remember when that came out, that's what everyone's assumption was. Like, oh, here it comes. Like, we're gonna start getting...
right? We're gonna have Flowros, we're gonna have Full City, we're gonna have Regionalized Julia, we're gonna have Master Grade Grazes, we're gonna have, we're gonna have the Vidar, we're gonna have, whatever.
Yeah,
I would love to see a Master Grade roadie, like a land roadie. Would be sick. So dude, can you imagine how cool that kit would be? Man, that'd be righteous. Or like an army of fucking Grazes, like in I mean, you could still get that in the full mechanics. You could do it. And honestly, the full mechanics Graze kit is not a bad kit. It is like really one of my favorite.
None of them really were for like what you were getting and what they cost.
No, sure.
I mean, the full mechanics Graze. Remember how cheap that thing was?
Yeah,
it was like 20 bucks. I know.
Yeah, it was cheap as shit.
Yeah. I mean, was it the equivalent of the Sinanju or the
no,
whatever, no, not even that. Was it the equivalent of like the Sinanju? No. Was it the Sazabi Verka? No, but it was $25. Like,
Right.
You can't even get a high grade right now for $25.
You're like comparing apples to like gilded fucking whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah.
No, it was
gilded tiramisu versus like your bottom barrel Red Delicious apple.
I'm
both good.
Really
but
happy I got into the hobby when IBO was out and they were releasing all those kits because they were so goddamn affordable. And almost all the lines were good. The HG kits were amazing as well. And they were like
fantastic.
$15. So it was really cheap to get in the hobby at that point. I mean, not that it's like crazy expensive now, but still, it's just $15
it was
like
different.
Yeah, $15 is like, you know, a meal at McDonald's right now. So
I think I got my G Self Perfectibility high grade, like all the fucking things, $25.
Yep,
as a kid.
I did
like,
the same thing. I think, yeah,
cheap as fuck. Nowadays it'd be 40 for sure,
right?
Just because of the step, everything gets stepped on.
Yeah, and we were getting like, remember how many HGs of IBO we were getting like in a month? There'd be like 5 a month, dude.
All them shits too, like all the HGs. Like,
yeah, they made everything. I don't think there's anything from that series that they didn't make an HG of.
There wasn't MSV. Yeah, I agree. I think that they had just about everything, and all the ones that I got were really good. Yep. The only one that I kind of had a fucking problem with was Carta's Grays, because
the one that
had
weird like the feet.
It was the weird geometry of her Grays custom specifically.
Yeah,
there was an issue with like the feet and the hips. They just didn't want to sit right for whatever reason. But the Julia was fantastic. I've used parts of Julia in like Julia's been across all sorts of builds with the years. She's been spread out. And wow,
Julia gets around.
And then like obviously the full city was really cool, and I utilized that when I made my full city master grade upgrade. Yeah, there's a lot of like so many cool things available. Let's see, Peachy from Warhammer TV build. Who the hell is that?
I'm assuming that's the guy that they hand paint Warhammer stuff.
Sure.
Two strike Gundam model. Oh, he did the MGX Freedom. That's I'm sure he. That had to be quite a deviation from Warhammer kits to that, because that's like, in a good way, that's quite a kit. That's got that like.
You mean the?
No, not that one. The MGEX is the 1/100 one.
Oh,
the big fucking one with like the real gold frame and everything.
I like this one.
Yeah, for sure. But can you imagine like if you've only built
oh my god, 45 millimeter fucking or 35 millimeter figures and then jumped up into it?
But it's also like there's a whole lot of technology and engineering that go into that kit that you're probably like, damn, what the shit that moves.
I forgot I even had these things.
I mean, I remember being wowed. Actually, I remember being wowed by those HGIBO kits that they had like inner frames, or at least like partial inner frames. And I remember like moving the leg for the first time. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
what did you think when you pulled out a fucking a real grade, like a unicorn or something like that? Or
yeah, what was the first master grade I built? I don't remember. And I remember seeing like the
ones
moving,
are the ones that were cast in though.
Yeah, but I remember seeing like the moving piston in whatever master grade I had built, and like the opening cockpit, and I was like, "Whoa, that is not a model kit that I know. These are not model kits that I know."
Yeah, the Zaku
clamshells.
In my opinion, the Zaku 2.0 is one of the best examples of like really good engineering. Right, there is not a lot of bullshit in that one. So it also, in my opinion, master grade kits that have a lot of bullshit in them that are not necessarily good would be the Astray line. There's a lot of bullshit in there. There's a lot of fancy, very little result. A lot of fancy.
The GM Sniper 2, I think that might have been one of the first ones I built.
Oh, the GM Sniper 2 is such a good kit as well.
Another like $25 to $30 banger. It was so fucking cheap. We were able to get those on in Barnes and Noble, remember, for like
Dirt
like
cheap.
they couldn't give them away. I legitimately think I bought one for like $25. Yeah, I was like, all right, whatever.
Trying to get my cat to come up here.
And it had like the shifting thigh armor. Like when it squatted down, the thigh armor moved, and I was like, that's amazing. Chris says the second was the GM Sniper too. It was just good kits, man. Like I said, especially for coming from like traditional models, like from car models where it's, especially like the Revell stuff is usually just a clamshell and like a little bit of an interior. Right. And then you go to Gundam and you're like, what is that?
Well, not even that. Like if you want to talk about those old kits, I was building a Revell. I think it was like a level 4, like one of the higher level builds. Square body, step side, pickup truck, everything had a mold scene. Like every last element had a full on wrap around, like a fucking belt of doom.
And needed to be glued.
Of course, it's all has to be glued. That's one thing. Alicia, Doku, friend of the squad, hates like glue together kits because like you have to use glue. Derek, her husband, is like completely fine with it, but she refuses to build car kits or any other kit just because of the glue and the fact that you have to like do all the fill fucking. And,
especially if you come from Bandai kit, like if you come from Gundam and then you go to that, you're like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you work?
Why are you so goddamn problematic? What?
This is stupid.
Oh, speaking of fun things that are semi-problematic, but not necessarily, because it always takes a little bit of time. Here is the Zaku head featured in the screenshot for this. Look at how nice that FDM is coming out.
Yeah.
Right? There's you can see the bottom is somewhat, the cat is like rubbing it. Hello, Luna. Hi, look, it's Luna. Hi, Luna. What's up, dork? How you doing? It's coming together. There's still like, obviously, I got to rebuild that completely.
Yeah.
There's still some lines in there. You can still see some texture. There's some exclusions that'll have to get done. The 86 looks pretty good though. But yeah, so that's coming along. The FDM. Let's see. Didn't fuck with the body on that. Did we show this off yet? Did I have this to this point? This thing?
I know you showed some of it last.
I don't think I had enough. I don't think I had it all the way to this point. So I got both the arms on from my resin kit. We talked a little bit about this, I know, because Ongawa Sam stopped in, and we were talking for a second. But I finished up the arms on that. I got it on a base so that it like stands nicely. It's got attitude, presence. And that's been kind of like, that's the summation right now of the bench. Just working on, the square body. I'm gonna take advantage of this weekend and start adding my darker transparent layers. Try and bring it up. I've been thinking about whether or not I want to fuck with adding any metallics to that, because like a sparkle, But really, I'm looking at like we're close to the end of the year, and I want to try and wrap up a couple of these threads hanging out there. Gonna tie up some of those loose ends.
Yeah, I got a little bit of time too. I'm off starting tomorrow, so no work until the new year. So I got a little bit of time to mess around.
Lucky boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I couldn't take it off last year because I was the only one around. So now they hired more people. Hey. I'm like, y'all can run things. Bye. Best of luck. Don't call me. If it's broken, it better be on fire.
And if it's water and it's on fire, then something is dramatically wrong. Oh yeah. So, I can't. I'm glad that I can get a couple of days, but I can't take more than a couple of days because
Are you able to like work less hours, like go in, check on everything, and it mean not like an entirety of a day, or is that not?
No. I
No.
right now no. So I occasionally I don't just do it like so I do a long day. I'm up at 5. I'm out of the door at 6. I'm home at 6. I travel all the way to the city and then work a full day, no breaks, just so that I can get home. Otherwise, I'd be home at 7 if I took a break. So basically, I just work straight through, and occasionally I do 6 days. And when I do 6 days, it really sucks because the train on the weekends takes an extra hour all around.
Yeah.
So it takes me an hour, almost an hour and 40 to get into the city, and an hour and 40 or 45 to get home, plus the weird schedule. So when I do my Saturdays, I'll go in and I get to the spot and I do what I have to do. I do the barest minimum on a Saturday to get done. It takes about 2 hours. So it takes me, I travel for 3 hours to work for 2 hours. And it doesn't necessarily make 100% sense. And then there's like, flex in between there. So like if I get to the train, there's a weirdness with the train, then there's something, and I get to the spot, and then I have to do the thing, and then by the time I get back, and I have to wait for the train. So a 2-hour day becomes a 7-hour day pretty regularly, and it's better than a 12-hour day, I guess. But at the same time, it's still a complete full ass day of not doing a whole fucking lot. But what I'm doing is incredibly important, so
yeah,
part of the game, I guess.
Somebody's got to do it, right?
Yeah, and it's like if I'm gone for more than just a couple of days, then I have like just so much to do to make everything right again. It's just like weird. It's just it's a weird job. I do weird things. It's okay. I'm a wizard, like John Lynn says. She's not wrong. I'm a fucking wizard. I have a magic touch. Ooh, I'm a magic man. And it's just how it is.
I couldn't do it. I have a black thumb, so
word. Not everybody has it, man. It's in my.
I can tell you the biology and the chemistry behind it, but actually doing it, no.
It's all right.
Nope.
See, Ty says Ricardo says I got to do that graveyard shift tonight and tomorrow. I just woke up a little bit after the stream started. Oh, that flip-flop is terrible. I used to do a little bit of that in my early 20s. I was working truss manufacturing, so building roof structures, like the stuff that they put on top of your house that they put together and makes the roof trusses. That's what I used to build in a factory style setting. So it was huge facility, big fucking tables, big machinery. Air hammer gave me horrible tendonitis. It was all a lot of fun, but like same kind of deal where we would go in and I would either be like, because I was ran shifts, so I was running a table of like 6 or 8 people, and a table is 20 feet by 75 feet long, so that's how big a table is. If anyone's doing context for how many 5 people fills. And you would either work from like 5 in the morning until like 3 in the afternoon was like early shift, and then there was mid shift, which was like and there's multiple tables in the facility, so everything was running all the time, but there wasn't always everything running at the same time. And so there was another crew that would come and run day shift, and there was the overnight shift. So like sometimes you were running 5:30 in the morning or 5 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. And then sometimes you were running, what was it, like 3 in the afternoon until like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning or something like that. And like those were the worst shifts, because the guys, like the kids that we would have come in and work with us, would like go out on their lunch break and drink a pint of vodka or like whatever, and just fucking come back fucked up, and people were getting hurt. And like, it was just like, that was a really stressful time. I was 22. I was half my age. So yeah,
I worked
wild times.
We did three different 8s. There were like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., and then 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. And I would work like all 3 in a week. And the 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. was sometimes the hardest because you think about it. If you get off at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you don't go home and go to bed usually. Like you go home, you eat dinner, you do whatever. So you get off at midnight. Like me, I couldn't just go home and go to bed. Like I'd go home, I would eat something, I'd fuck off, and like I didn't end up going to bed until 5-6 o'clock in the morning. I might as well have just worked overnight, like it was almost the same thing. And then I can't wake up at, you go to bed at 5, you can't wake up at 8. Like you're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, for example, my wife, Colleen, is about to get off of work right now. Because she works holiday. She works for Mac.
Yeah, they work the late hours.
She's getting off tonight at 11 o'clock at night. She went at 3 in the afternoon. And that's wild. I left the house at 6 o'clock this morning. I was up at 5. Normally, I go to bed between midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning, and I am up by 5 o'clock in the morning. So I get between 3.5 and 4.5 hours of sleep, roughly. And then I'll go and work my whole last day, do my whole thing, come home again, and then go to bed midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I've been burning the candle at both ends a little bit. Yeah. I look a little thinner because of it, and that's part of the game. But that whole dance is delicate. You have to be delicate about it.
Yeah. I watched this interview this guy did with he's some kind of medical professional, and he was talking about for you to get less than, I think it was 8 hours of sleep, I believe, the percentage of people in the world that can operate at the same efficiency as they do with 8 hours is, if you rounded it, it's still 0%.
Yeah, it's so small.
Right. Like, now you can function, but you just can't function to the same level as when you get, whatever it is. I don't know if it's exactly 8 or it was over 6 or whatever the number they were using at the time, but I thought that was interesting. I was like, damn,
I'll tell you this much though. With me only getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night, I smoke way less weed. So I'm still doing all right.
You don't need to take the edge off if you're tired, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to take the edge off because the edge is already taken off by reality. Reality took the edge off. But I've always kind of like been at that, doing that kind of thing, and it's all right. So
yeah, I don't sleep well in general. Like even when I have nothing going on, I'm just not.
Dude, I sleep like the fucking dead. When I'm down, I'm fucking down.
Oh no, it takes me forever to fall asleep. I wake up early. I just wake up. And I've been like that for a long time. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm getting old now, I can't sleep. Like, I was like that in my early 20s. When I drink, it makes it worse for me. Like, I can't sleep, and I wake up early as shit, and I feel like shit. So it's,
that's bad.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, I also was not much of a sleeper. I would be, bouncing off the walls until 2 a.m. and then up at 6 or whatever. Just kind of like same dealy. And even now, I still I'll sleep for 4 hours and I'll get like a 72 sleep score from my Fitbit. Or just like this thing, for whatever reason, it runs really well and I'm grateful for it. We're going to knock on wood that this year this thing still runs good. So it keeps me going. Okay. The flesh mech suit that I'm inhabiting is still operating well. Because once that shit starts to break the fuck down, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked.
The Ava 44.
Yeah, it's cool. And not everybody can do it. It's all right. I'm glad for my genetics. It's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not great at sleeping. I don't know. I have like FOMO. Like I feel like it's my time. Because my Sylvia, my wife, and my son will go to sleep at like 8, 9 o'clock. And then it's like, all right, now it's my time to do the things that I don't want to take away from their time to do.
Yeah.
All right, now's the time to play a video game or build a model or watch a show.
Or whatever.
I wouldn't watch with them.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
And giving that up
I'm
is
with
hard.
You. I hear you. I mean, it's the same deal. Like, I get home at 6 o'clock at night, like, feed the cat, make a dinner, do a thing, clean it up. Do something. let's make a thing. Let's do something. Like let's fucking go. Like, I gotta do something. So it's been diminished. My bench time has been diminished. Thankfully, I've had like casual projects like the Zaku skull, cute, the Zaku head to work on, or little snappy of the kitty on the weekend, little things like that. Like I'm trying to rework the balance. For those of you that haven't listened to 2 podcasts ago, for Built Sideways podcast, we talk about balance, life balance, and it's like still trying to find that, like that happy medium where I can still feel accomplished and it's slowed down a lot, and I feel the crunch, and it sucks. It really does suck, because I want to be able to do more stuff. I want to be able to I want to be working on the DeLorean. I also want to already have the steps I've done. I'm supposed to be doing a lowrider Bronco. I haven't even touched it. It's lots of stuff, that I would love to be working on, but I can't. And that's just kind of like that sacrifice. You have to like meter those expectations and not let that shit crush you. It's really easy to let like your own personal goals. Like I have all these modeling aspirations and project, whatever, like it can fuck you up.
Yeah. Even on like really small scales, like I'll find that, let's say I had a plan, like it's Tuesday night, and I'm like, all right, Tuesday night, I'm going to go up and work on something. Like I'm going to paint or whatever it is. And then for whatever reason, I don't get up there, like whether, it comes around to that time, 9:00, and I'm just burnt out, or something else comes up that I have to take care of or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like I can feel my motivation the next day be even lower, because I'm like, I didn't, Tuesday was the night I was supposed to do that. Now it's Wednesday. I have to do such and such bullshit. So now it's not going to be until Thursday. And then you just feel yourself spiraling down where you're like, damn it, when am I going to even finish this stuff? Or I didn't get as much done as I'd hoped. That's another hard one to kind of, you set those like mental hurdles in your mind where you're like, all right, today I'm going to finish, prime and base coat. And for whatever reason, you only do prime instead of prime and base coat. And you're like, fuck, now I'm behind.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like, you're even just like wanting to get to prime again or something, and being like, prime example, Zaku head, being like, oh man, I'm totally gonna prime this. I got it ready to go, but like, the light is changed in the room, and because it's later in the day, your overhead lamps versus your raking light shows you a different element to it, and you're like, oh. I really should just sand this as well, because if I just go ahead and apply primer to it, now I'm gonna have to double sand, and it's gonna add an extra layer. So like, I just got to do it. And so then you're in this and you're doing the sanding stuff, and you're like, oh, I was also watching the Muppet Christmas Carol, and now it's fucking midnight. Like, I guess I'm not gonna get to priming this tonight. And like the next day, you're like, shit, man, I just fucking built a 50-foot long, 14-foot tall wall, and like variable all this and that, and I'm like, fuck, I'm so fucking tired, like can't, maybe we'll do a little bit of this, and the next thing you know, you're like chair, and like, oh fuck, what the fuck, and you're still got it in your hand with the thing. Chris has talked about that in the
podcast. Yeah. I don't know when that man sleeps. He's a nut.
Yeah, well, you know what, Pabs is me, but he's like 7 years younger. He's like your age, y'all are about the same age.
Same age,
yeah.
Yeah, it's I was really lucky. I don't know exactly. The last time I talked to him, it was kind of hit or miss, but I was really lucky with my son, and he slept really, really well. Like that wasn't a thing for us. Like we didn't. I always like when people are like, "Oh man, I have kids." You're like, your life's gonna be hell. Him as like a newborn, I felt like was one of the easier times of having a kid in my life. Like, did he get up at night? Yeah, but like again, I don't sleep really well, so getting up wasn't that big of a deal for me. And it wasn't like when they're older and they get up and it's a nightmare and they want to like, you have to like talk them out of it and all this stuff. When they're a baby, you change their diaper, throw the bottle in their mouth, hang out with them a little bit, and they're back asleep.
Right. If they're so comfy with the shit, they're done.
Yeah. And same thing even during the day. Like there's not really a whole lot to do with them. You change them, you feed them, and then you play with them for 5 minutes and they're out again. So I used to do a lot. I got a lot done during that time span because the kid falls asleep and it's not like you can go anywhere. You can't go out to the bar while he's asleep. So you're like sitting there with nothing to do. I'm like, oh, I'll snap a kit together while he's asleep.
Maybe in the year 2000 you could, but in the 1970s and 80s it wasn't a big deal.
I used to do a lot of snapping like during that time. Like, oh, he's asleep, so I'd put on something that I wanted to watch and snap a kit. For sure. He's asleep anyway. What is he gonna do?
Yeah, and I feel like, for the year, I want to say underrated on the year is just fucking snapping up a kit for fun.
Yeah,
for me, super underrated. I underrated it. I discounted it. Most of the year, I spent all my time working on like high-end, like highbrow projects and shit. Like, I did snap up a couple of kits, right? Like I did the Gym Sniper 2 for the Spartan upgrade, but I really was like focused on getting a Spartan upgrade. Really like fucking goal oriented towards that. But years past, I've just had so much fun really just enjoying the quality of a Bandai kit. Just
super cathartic. Like you feel very relaxed when you do it. You can like turn half of your brain off completely when you're doing that. You're just like, just follow directions.
So next year, I want to try and embrace a little bit more of that fun. I think that's one thing I want to try and do for the podcast, or not the podcast, but for the live stream here. Think about this. Our live streams, Paul, are almost a fucking podcast in and of themselves. Now that Google Podcast is gone, we're almost gone. Like, and there's switch over to YouTube. It's like Paulie and I have been 180 fucking.
I mean, think about like how many podcasts are video form as well. Like that, you're right. That's essentially what we're doing. Is like we just don't have a super defined topic when we get into it.
No, there's no topics.
Luckily, we both have the gift of gab, so if you just say something, we'll run our mouths for quite a while. But
that's in and of itself is actually a skill and a talent, to have the ability to talk just about anything. And I always, and I think you too we've always had the ability to kind of like, you could sit down in any airport bar and talk to the person next to you about what the fuck ever, for as long as it takes for your plane to go, and then wherever it may be. And I genuinely enjoy all of the conversations. So like, I rarely participate in a conversation that I don't have a good time with. Right?
Yeah. Like, I feel like they're so often not about modeling, or like they just kind of like touch modeling, but then they're like,
oh yeah, right.
Christmas
but then,
movies, like spend an hour on Christmas movies.
An hour on Christmas movie. We spent an hour and a half on Christmas movies.
That's fun for me, though.
Well, yeah, for me too. And that's the thing. Like, here it is. We're at the holiday season, and it's the stuff. It's like the hobbies are more than just snapping kits and cutting snubs and sandy dandy, and
How much could you really talk about that? Like, how many times could we? Well, I sanded some nubs today. It was pretty exciting. Like,
well, I mean, I've said that a lot.
But I mean, could you do 2 hours of it every Thursday? No, you have to talk about like other things that you have going on. Otherwise, it would just, I don't know if it would be that relatable, right? Like,
well, there's that.
Brian and Paul sanded again.
Aside from it being unrelatable, also it isn't like growing the community at all. So like,
no,
clearly like we have like a vested interest in growing the community and making a better space for all of us to exist in,
right?
Whether it be casual conversationally talking about video games, anime, holiday thing?
The Seinfeld of video streaming. Pretty much. I mean,
in a way,
when we first started it was a lot that we didn't, especially at that time, like this is however many years ago, neither one of us had a build night that we knew of to go to. So this was like our pseudo build night. Like, and if you think about it, if you were sitting next to your friend building a model kit, you're just gonna BS about whatever it is you guys got going on. And that was kind of our hope for all of you guys, that you'd be sitting there watching us build something while you're building something and just kind of BSing with us about whatever the hell it is you were thinking of. Like,
it's just the open conversation, whatever it might be, you know?
Yeah. The Seinfeld video stream.
Yeah, in a way. And it's been really, really fruitful. I'm stoked to be at 180 here at the end of 2023.
It's crazy.
We have taken a long ass time off beginning of this year and here and there because life will lead us to do such a thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop the mojo from JoJoing.
It seems like, God, it doesn't seem that long ago, or it seems very distinct in my mind when we did 100. Like, we had everybody there. I remember everyone coming by and hanging out for a little while.
When I was thinking about doing the Dom, right? The build, and that was in the 70s.
Yep.
So even that it almost seems like that was after the.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The centennial, for what it's worth, you know. And that's been, we've taken so many breaks. So what we did, the 100th episode was in 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it was in the pandemic era.
Yeah.
And it's been, I took a lot of breaks. I take a lot of breaks because I do a lot of things. I overcommit, and Paul is very forgiving, so he understands.
Well, I have a lot outside of that. I'm always like, oh, my kid's sick.
Well, that's fine.
My air conditioning broke. There's another hurricane.
Here's the dilly. That's just nature of the beast.
Life,
and you're allowed to, to do whatever. I'm captain of this bitch, and I'm gonna ride or die, and I will. And we have, run show solo, and that's completely fine. And it's not about having to have. And that's one thing. Okay, here's a good one. So this year, one thing that I have been working on is doing the show alone. I did that a couple times this year. It's the first times that I've done it since I started the channel in this. It was before this was a skateboarding channel because it's what I did. But switching to the scale modeling stuff, like I did some live streams at the beginning and they were kind of hit or miss, and it was a little bit awkward and it was odd because I wasn't sure of myself and I wasn't confident in feeling like I could just talk about fucking whatever. And now I know that obviously I can. And thank you, Paul, for joining me in this endeavor. And when I stopped doing the show with the kids in South Brooklyn and just started doing this with Paul, things became so much more comfortable and so much more open. The community started to grow so much more. And here we're this is 5 years in, right?
Yeah.
6 years in that we've been doing this.
2017,
yeah, because 6 years in was when I started when I did the horror. That was 6 years ago. So the horror review and all that. So 5 to 6 years ago. Yeah, man, it's been a fucking fantastic ride.
Yeah, and God, you're right though. When we did 2020 time too, because everybody was streaming, So I remember when we were doing the workbenches through that time, there'd be 5-6 people streaming with us because it would always be Chris and Julio and Manny. Tim would stop by. It was
whatever. We had Robo, we had Tex, we had lots of randos
would come in. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm not being very good. I haven't slung the link around as much as I probably could have to get more community participation. And I don't know that is a good or a bad thing. I'm not super proud of it, to be honest with you, because so many of our friends and compatriots are doing so many good things that I feel a little bit bad about not promoting the homies as much this year. And a lot of it was because I had to take personal time because I'm still going through shit. And it is what it is, but at the same time, it doesn't excuse that fact. So I want to
think
bring that to
though
light.
that was a
try and move
break
forward.
for. I think this year was kind of a break for a lot of people though. You know, like
It's
if
been
you look
tough.
at like Julio didn't build as much and didn't really like wasn't as engaged
Yeah.
as he was the year before. Chris built a little less, and like certainly from a social media output, like was much more geared down. You know,
Reserved.
John Lynn, like a lot of people were like much calmer this year, and kind I don't know, it felt like a breathing year. Like I think those COVID years were just like shit just happened
So
and
intense.
changed so fast that you were like, all right, now things have kind of maybe somewhat.
I can see that completely, but at the
normalized.
same time, I'm still super duper conscious of all of that and everything. Like, you know, being a contributor / host of the OMC, working with, you know, obviously Built Sideways. Ideally, we're bringing back Critical Wall next year. Gonna be super stoked on that. You know, just like all of the various events, things that I want to participate in, the Now or Never build off guys that do all the car builds. If you're familiar or excited at all or curious at all about building custom car model builds or just building car models at all, join that group. That's super fun. You know, just like it's all in the MFCA, the miniature figure stuff, like trying to get into that. There's so many avenues with this hobby that we all love, that we like really love, and that we like are all participating in, but like don't necessarily try. I think that everybody should just fucking really do it all. Like, and the problem with that is that it's a lot of roads to run down. So
Yeah,
get tired. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. And when you
Wear
just
your
get
ass
like
out.
you veer, right? Like you maybe don't focus as much on like, you know, it kind of brings me back we were talking about earlier, like where at one point I knew every kit that was coming out and like every variant of everything, and you know, you veer off because you find other interests, and it doesn't become like your hobby is no longer Gunpla, it's just modeling. You know, because you veer into you find other avenues and things you enjoy and things you don't enjoy.
And it doesn't matter what you're building. It isn't like, oh, I got to build the new thing. It's like, what am I going to build? Right? Like, what am I going to, it's not just like, oh, I need to go and build the Barbatos, or I need to go build the Freedom, or I need to build the MGSE at Barbatos, or I need to build, whatever the fuck it is.
I need to pump out the next kit that just came out.
Right, exactly. For clicks or likes or whatever, the fuck it is, just snap it up. Whatever. No, like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Let me say it 5 times. Like, I have so many kits here in the active stash. They're all very different. Tanks and cars and military vehicles, civilian style military vehicles, military style military vehicles, airplanes, helicopters, robots, weird mechas that aren't Gundam, other weird mechas that aren't weird mechas that aren't Gundam, like all that shit. Like, I mean, Pacific Theater, whatever the hell it is, it doesn't matter. Like, I love to have all of that stuff around to draw from to build whatever the fuck I want, because it isn't like you have to go and build that fucking, like, you know, SD narrative Gundam doo-doo that's coming out like hot shit cakes off the fucking Bandai presses.
Yeah. No, I remember like earlier on, I don't remember exactly like in what era of this show, but like I was snapping like, oh, new kit came out, like grab it, snap it, which was fun. Like you were talking about earlier, I do miss like just kind of snapping kits and like the kind of cathartic and, you know, enjoyable nature of that. But at the same point, it was like almost just to accomplish it, like just to like, oh, Barbatos came out and that's new, so I gotta build it. Like, oh, the, you know, whatever it is, hot shit came out, I gotta build that. I want to see what it is. And that, like, it was just like repetitive, you know. Just like, oh, I'm just doing this to like make sure I have something to take a picture of that's new. You know, like, oh, got the Barbatos built so I can post it on Instagram. Yay. Well, who cares? Like, who gives a fuck? Like,
let's say, well, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Was that a notebook? Oh, yeah. What do you want? the memes where they do that with like deciding on food because that is, I think a super relatable problem for everyone. I don't know what I want to eat.
Colleen just got home.
Awesome.
I accidentally locked her out of the house. Accidentally. But yeah, you're so right. And I think back to the first days that the first years that I started building the Gundam kits, because of my history with regular kits, like building militaria or race cars and monster trucks and fun stuff back in the day. When I got from building 1-to-1 scale prop replicas to buying and building scale models. So instead of making and building models, I was buying and building models. That first year of building Gundams between 144 scale and 100 scale kits, I probably built 40 fucking models. I fucking just went hard as a motherfucker. Went ham. Hard as motherfucker. Ham. On that shit. And just like crazy, build all that shit. And the next year was the same kind of deal where it was like I built a lot, but it wasn't the same as that first year where it was less snapping. It was more like customizing, full painting, this, that, and the other. And as I've gone down the road, it gets to be even less of that, where it's like now I'll maybe I'll snap up a couple of kids, but most of it is like hardcore customizing or project envisioning creative
or
endeavors,
intricate paint jobs or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever vision kind of shit. Even if it's so sometimes it's fast stuff, like a turkey shoot to be a build, which is pretty straightforward. Change the colors on it a little bit, but at the same time, very straightforward build. But some of it is more artistic, a little bit more creative stuff. So I think that I suppose a level of it is maturity, probably. So,
yeah.
But at the same time, it's also just that wisdom, that miles kind of thing, where
kind of settle in a little. I'm
in a way, I know where I'm going, or know what I've got, I know where I'm going, and I can kind of read the tea leaves a little bit. So my projects become more driven in a good way, and I feel like that everybody is just going to kind of flow.
Yeah, I think that makes
this kid Clint just won Johanni's little thing,
the Christmas the Christmas holiday competition.
Yep. Call Julia says hello. Yeah, so it was it was like a Thunderbolt inspired gym kind of
it had the shields on the rear arms.
Yeah, and he had extra arms and all this extra stuff. And the thing about Clint is I met him a couple of years ago, or more than a year ago, but I got a chance to actually sit down with him at Alicia and Derek Doku's wedding, and he literally sat next to the guy, and we talked for hours, and it was really interesting to just get to know him as a person and find out a little bit about his style and his methods for things, and then after the fact seeing his work, because he's not a very showing, like me. I'm a show and tell kind of guy.
Yeah,
he wasn't very giving for his showing techniques and whatever, and that's fine. And then seeing his work and what he's doing, it was really just fantastic to be opened up to him as an individual and his own way versus his showing what the work that he's doing, and that kind of leads me to seeing a little bit more depth within the greater community.
Yep.
And then just you don't have to be a fucking all singing, all dancing crap of the world like Bro Builder to be good at what you're doing. Just focus on your shit.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
got recommended this. What are you guys even doing? Guitar stuff? Just a quick comment. Title accordingly.
KotoKai Workbench. Well, it's been the Workbench live stream for 5 years, so I don't think that anybody that is paying attention really is super duper concerned.
Nope, no guitar stuff though.
Nope, I don't. I do play guitar, but I don't play it on the stream. There's only a couple people that have ever heard me play guitar, and that's legit. I look accordingly. I don't even fucking know what that means. Respect though. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Sam Skolder. Let's give him a highlight.
But Sam, it's mostly to do with scale modeling. Which is, if you look at like either one of our no offense taken.
Oh, don't be silly, man.
If you look at either one of our like social medias or previous videos, it's all to do with scale modeling for the most part.
Yo, for real, brother. Yeah.
I don't know who recommended it to you. We might know them.
I don't know why it was recommended to you either, Sam.
Or just you mean recommended by someone or just on your algorithm?
I think it was the algorithm, and that's legit. Like, welcome to the live stream at the very fucking end of the
just
shit.
YouTube.
YouTube. No,
I don't know, man.
No. So my name's Brian. His name is Paul. We've been talking about scale modeling, anime, music, movies, and all of the stuff in between for the last 5 years, and we do this most of the time, and it's fucking chill.
We usually work on gunpla models. So
yeah, like this kind of stuff.
It's called the workbench because we're building at the workbench.
Yeah, or talking about it, like build fancy custom things like these fancy custom models and shit. Like not always just robots. Sometimes it's like
paint them.
Yeah, sometimes it's like cars and shit. Like this is a truck. You know, I like to drink, so I drink a lot of bourbon. And we're just hanging out. But welcome to the party, pal. Merry Christmas. What do we got? We got Ricardo says skill modeling is the main focus, but it's lots of movie and anime talk goes on. Of course, man. And always here to answer questions about whatever, and open conversation. That's the thing. Like, see, watch some guitar building videos, and that's what I really think I can imagine would be very cool, guys. Again, oh hell yeah, man! I built a lot of shit, man. I've worked in movies. I've worked in like prop manufacturing. I've helped people build musical equipment. I've done a lot of fun stuff, and Paul is also incredibly knowledgeable. All the people that participate in this live stream kind of do that same shit. We're all creatives. We're all like open, and we're just down to jive and talk shop. So and glad that you found us. For what it's worth, man. Like, that's sick. Actually really cool. Go YouTube for once.
Interesting, like, crossover there.
Oh yeah, that ass, right?
Looking up.
Like, I wish I had a guitar to pull out. They're all up in the attic. Like, I don't have anything to like show for that kind of thing. I can pull out some like
no musical instruments in this room.
Random, like, I have like, what do I have? Like, I have like some props. I got some like wooden swords. I got like, I don't know. I got like a bunch of weird shit around. But it is what it is, man. Oh, I got a kitty cat. What are you doing, Luna? What? Come here.
We build stuff.
Most of the time. And that's the thing. Building stuff.
Yeah,
having fun and being part of the community. Yeah, we're about 2.5 hours in, Paul.
Yeah, man.
Probably call it.
Yeah. Time to get some rest.
Indeed.
I gotta do all of the not Christmas shopping like gifts, but like Christmas shopping like food and prep stuff tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to.
Respect. I too have to do that. I'm carrying the load this weekend, so
yeah. Not my favorite thing to do.
My main focus is I gotta put some oil in my car.
Oil in your car?
Yeah.
Please do that.
Yeah.
It's one of the few things it needs. It's
I drive that car like maybe 8 miles a day. Oh, it's like it is a lot of time, but at the same time, I gotta take care of it.
getting Kim's gift night before, you gambler, you.
For sure. And that is not a woman with which you wish to cross.
Nope. Yeah, we talked about this earlier, Chris, if you remember.
It's pretty rad. And yeah.
Don't get Phil Hartman.
Don't give me Phil Hartman. Oh, bring it back. Bringing it back. Yes. Oh my goodness gracious. Good. All right. Here we go. Everyone, cats and dogs, boys and girls, fishes, birds, men and women. See what I did there? Oh, I did all the other ways. Here we are, the end of the year. I don't know that I will be holding a live stream next week on Thursday, but I might. It just depends on how I feel. It depends on how tired I am and how tired I am not. And Paul is at the mercy of my willing to host a live stream. So it is what it fucking is. Merry Christmas,
Yes.
everyone.
Enjoy. Hope you guys enjoy your families. Stay safe.
Or don't enjoy your families. Who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Like, enjoy yourselves. Make the best as all we can. I don't know what that means. Those words work together in a sentence. I don't know that they necessarily do. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, does that actually make a sentence? Like, for real? I mean, I know it felt good. Like, it felt good to say it, and I know that it felt good to hear it. But is it a real thing? Edward Leonard, holy shit, from Florida.
Hey, bud.
Or
Merry Christmas,
the
man.
Carolinas.
Yeah.
What is that?
Formerly of.
Formerly of Florida. Merry Christmas, Edward Leonard. Always good to see you. Chiming in. Always lurking. Fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. And yeah. We'll see you all next time. If we don't see you now, we'll see you in the new year.
Yeah. Yeah, if we don't see you,
Bye.
Happy New Year as well, guys. Later.
Bye. See you all in the new year.